Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and I am once again thrilled to bring some NGS action for everyone's viewing pleasure. We're taking a look at Division D. We're going to see Protectors of Shakuras taking on Cosmos in a best-of-3 series this evening. We can give a little bit of background on these two teams while they get the lobby set and ready to go. Protectors of Shakuras, they are in their second season together with their current roster core. They were able to finish in third place in the regular season last season, and off to a pretty hot start here as we round past the middle of the season. On the other side of the battleground, we've got Cosmos. Cosmos have been together in one form or another since, I think, back in like season 8 or 10. The current iteration that we see have been together for about 3 seasons, and this is their second meeting of the season. This is a double round robin division, so every team gets to play each other twice, and they have already met once. That match went for Protectors of Shakuras. We can take a look at the standings as well to see where our teams are living. Protectors of Shakuras in second place currently. They've only dropped a single series thus far this season. Cosmos currently in fourth place. So both teams vying for those playoff positions. And I expect a competitive match this evening. Let's take a look at our battleground selection as well. We had Protectors of Shakuras opt for map pick. These double round robin divisions don't have a coin flip, it's just the home team who gets to choose. So Protectors of Shakuras opted for battleground selection with map bans onto Infernal Shrines and Sky Temple, while Cosmos banned out Garden of Terror and Braxis. So Protectors of Shakuras, I'm probably just going to call them Protectors moving forward. The Protectors are taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen for game number 1. A battleground that really hinges on good wave clear and tight vision play and good rotations. It's going to be an exciting one, no doubt. And it's going to hinge a lot on how these tank players control vision and maintain those rotations. Let me double check some stuff here. Make sure that everything is set and ready to go on my end. Welcome to everyone who's joining us. Happy to have you. Be sure to cheer on whichever team you want. It's always exciting to get to go back and watch the VOD and see that your friends were here and excited for your big plays. Looks like we have all of our players in the lobby now, so we should be off to the races shortly. Famous last words. I am excited to see what the Division D meta is going to bring for us. Each division has a slightly unique take on which heroes are most powerful, and a lot of that, of course, is decided by those teams and their specific comforts. We'll see how Cosmos choose to start off with our bans here. Blaze is a pretty highly contested pick for both of these teams, so we might see the Firebat make it through bans, only to end up in first pick. Cosmos could look to ban out some of the frontliners as well. Johanna, in particular, is of note on this battleground, once again, because of that wave clear that she brings. They're going to opt for Valiban instead. The most popular assassin pick for protectors this season, but far from the only one. They've got plenty more to choose from. We'll see how Shakuras respond here, if they're going to ban away the Blaze or try and narrow one of the other pools here. It's going to be Joe. Fair enough. Johanna sees a lot of nerfs in the division, or not nerfs, bans in the division. And Cosmos, of course, have received their fair share of those bans. This will be kind of the deciding factor whether how much Blaze will shape these drafts. It's going to be Stukov instead. All right. An interesting choice. Shakuras have shown a wide variety in their, or diversity, I should say, in their hero selection for the healer slot. They've played 8 of the healer role or cast thus far this season, so Stukov isn't by any means a crutch of theirs. And there we see the Chromie ban. Well, I've hyped it up a lot. I'll look very silly if Blaze doesn't go first pick here. But something tells me it's just not going to happen, because that would be too clean a narrative. Look at that. My scouting has paid off. Blaze, first pick, an immediate grab onto the Anduin. Didn't even think twice, which I think is a-okay. Anduin is always a steady presence in the healing slot, one of the most impactful cleanses in the game with Leap of Faith. And that'll be paired with Hogger. So both offlaners already taken care of. We'll see how Cosmos wants to round out their picks before the next ban phase. I would expect a tank pick before the next round, but yeah, there you go. The Anub. And Zagara. Alright, so a little buggy, beetly synergy there. Plenty of summons between the two of them. Which leaves the healer slot still missing for Cosmos. I'd expect to see a healer ban here from Shakuras. Maybe a Brightwing ban, as that has been a favored pick for Cosmos. Perhaps a Deckard ban instead. It will be the Brightwing. On the other side, Shakuras still need a tank. I'd expect to see a Varian ban based on the history of Shakuras thus far this season. But perhaps Cosmos don't feel they need to with the Stukov out of the equation. It's going to be a Junkrat ban instead. Alright. An excellent hero for the battleground with how much vision they can control and wave clear they bring. I think it's an excellent choice. So So next 2 picks here for Shakuras. They need to pick up some wave clear here. At least for the core hero rotation. Varian and Falstad. Okay, Falstad brings fair wave clear. It's not remarkable, but it's not bad. We'll see how Cosmos want to get their healing. They've played a fair bit of Deckard thus far this season. I think given the damage structure that we've seen thus far from Shakuras, not having the cleanse might be a little challenging for Cosmos. Last pick here for Chopper. Or I suppose just Shakuras in general, given that there is a swap round. I would love for them to pick up a little bit more wave clear. Falstad brings some, but they're still a little bit low.
I'm in.
And they don't mind. There's a Kira for our last choice here. So let's take a look at our 2 drafts as our teams get through the swap phase and load into the game. Kira Falstad does seem to be a little low in the wave clear department for my liking. On the other side, Greymane and Zagara a little bit better on that front. They also, with the trait beetles from Anubarak and the roachlings from Zagara, have a lot of gunk they can put on the battleground. So I think Shakuras are going to be a little bit on the back foot on these rotations, which might make it challenging for the Varian to find those out of vision engagements. So as far as draft is concerned, I'm favoring Cosmos's game plan a bit. But of course, it really does come down to execution. Varian drafts and Kira drafts both can be rather explosive. So it's definitely not out of the question for Shakuras to take this if they're able to find the picks they need. Cosmos has a lot of large hit boxes and relatively low HP pools, so there is plenty of potential for the game to go either way. So let's see how our teams perform. Let's get into it without any further ado. And we can introduce our teams here on the left in blue. We've got Protectors of Shakuras, the Boomer on Anduin, Aurum playing Hogger, Cliff Sandwich on Falstad, Chopper playing Kira, and Dagny on the Varian. To the right in red, we've got Cosmos looking for a second game redemption. Nay on Greymane, Oddthought playing Zagara, Silver Jackal on Anubarak, Mosley on the Blaze, and Chef Naj on Deckard. Let's take a look at our level 1 talents here as we get set for the first wave of the game. Volatile Acid. So extra range on Banelings at level 1 for Zagara. Chopper already connected with the revolving sweep once. Nay eating all of that damage. And this is the trick to this draft, of course. Nay and Oddthought are going to be able to push these waves out more successfully, and the creep vision from Oddthought will make it tough for Dagny to get a sneaky rotation. Speaking of sneaky rotations, Silver Jackal connects onto Chopper. The revolving sweep and the Leap of Faith both committed there. We've got Frequent Flyer at level 1 for Falstad. Chopper goes back in with the grappling hook, but they'll be locked down with the root. Kira has opted for the auto attack build at level 1. The Hunted, I believe, is finishing touch, rather. So getting additional auto attack damage, baseline as well as some attack speed when attacking low HP heroes. Silver Jackal still very healthy in the front line. Nay and Dagny both very low. It's going to be First Blood going over to Shakuras, which, I'll be honest, I was not expecting the Varian draft to find a takedown before hitting level 4. Varian is very weak before that heroic comes online, which it will now. We've got Dagny turning in the first 11 gems for Shakuras. An engagement onto Odd Thought in the top lane. Chopper eating a fair bit of tower damage there, but they're going to walk out without too much trouble. Level 4s for Cosmos as well. We've got Ruby for Chef Naj into the triple frontline composition of Shakuras, and with a hero that frequently gets into melee range to deal their damage, Ruby's going to get a lot of value, potentially. Odd Thought opting for Medusa Blades, so a full-on macro focus there for the Zagara. We've also got Under King for Silver Jackal, increasing the range of their burrow charge. Silver Jackal still has the burrow charge to escape. Nay and Chef Naj both getting their aggressions out on this bruiser camp. Shakuras have enough gems in their pockets to turn in. So we'll see if they're able to secure that first objective push. Cosmos not too far behind themselves. Just 3 gems missing before they're able to secure Web Weavers of their own. And this is where Shakuras, I think, are going to have a little bit of trouble dealing with all of this stuff in mid lane. Chopper falling low. Silver Jackal as well. A great grappling hook from Chopper will get the last couple hits on the Anubarak. Dagny trying to chase down Odd Thought, but they still have their movement speed from their creep to scoot out of there. Dagny up to 10 stacks on the Lion's Maw quest, increasing the long-range CC of Lion's Fang from 25 to 50 once they get up to 30 stacks? 25 stacks. I love that Shakuras paired their first turn-in with the Bruiser Camp push. It can be a little challenging to get a lot of building damage with a melee assassin. And so augmenting their push here. Chopper, oh my god, so much damage from the Kira. Silver Jackal narrowly escaping. They'll be able to heal up a little bit here and there with the potions from Cosmos. Or I'm sorry, from Chef Naj. And it is a quick front wall grab. Dagny finds the taunt onto Silver Jackal. Chopper unable to land their stun, thanks to the unstoppable frames on Burrow Charge. Checking in on bot lane, Aurum fighting it out with Mosley. They get through most of that front wall. Mid-fort goes down. The 4-hero commitment by Shakuras to the mid lane secures them the first major structure of the game, but Cosmos, if they've got a consolation, it's that their top lane is still in a relatively healthy position. It's a very important lane, of course, with the presence of the boss. And now Cosmos have the opportunity to get a fight before heroic talents come online for the rest of Shakuras. But they missed their chance. We'll see how Shakuras want to play it with this heroic talent tier advantage. We've got Light Bomb, Gust, Final Strike. Final Strike? Yeah. Shockwave. And Varian has opted for Warbringer at level 10. So more dashes more often. And the ability to dash to allies as well. Chopper using the final strike just to clear out some of that creep, it seems. Cosmos have equalized the talent tiers. We've got Devouring Maw, Cocoon, Cursed Bullet, Stay a While, and Listen. And nothing yet for Mosley. They're going to be able to get their 24 gems turned in. They've opted for Bunker Drop. There's the Cocoon onto Chopper here. They turn the fight onto Boomer. The Gust comes out a little bit late. Odd Thought getting the 2-hero Maw as well to prevent any sort of peel for the Anduin. Dagny tries to stay stepped up for these stalls. Silver Jackal gets some solid body blocks though. And so Cosmos will secure their second takedown and the next objective phase. We're neck and neck on experience now, thanks to that hero XP comeback. Passive experience, of course, is in favor of Shakuras thanks to their mid-fort takedown. But Cosmos neck and neck with them thanks to those late game takedowns. A little bit of an overcommitment from Silver Jackal. They'll eat the revolving sweep from Chopper. A wave clear use of Final Strike. There's the taunt onto Silver Jackal. Not much damage. And they commit once again, this time onto Dagny. The root comes through and catches a few. Cliff falling very low here, as is Dagny. And the fort front wall already taken care of. Once again, it's a 4-hero commitment by Shakuras. So top lane, oh, Aurum gets a solo kill down in bot. That is a tough position. Luckily, Blaze had already dropped off most of their gems. They've still got the Hog Wild to get out. As I was saying, it was a 4-hero commitment by Shakuras to the mid lane. So top fort taking a fair bit of damage. About a third of that fort's HP now missing, but they don't have to worry about any periodic catapult pressure. They've got enough gems in their pockets for another turn in, and Cosmos are going to be able to neutralize some of that push thanks to this Bruiser Camp grab. Of course, Aurum and Cliff on the left side here equalized that mercenary push of their own. 13's on both sides. It's a pretty significant power spike for Protectors of Shakuras, both with, what is this one? Sustained Wins, the percent damage talent for Cliff, and Pummeled for Hogger. On the other side, Cosmos getting a little bit stronger here as they engage once again with the Cocoon onto Chopper, but Boomer is in range for the Leap of Faith. An interrupt on the Final Strike with a Maw. Cosmos are going to be able to clean up this top Web Weaver without too much trouble. And top fort's still very healthy. We can see those potions getting larger and larger thanks to Super Healing Potion at 13. Dagny under the fort, taking a lot of damage here. Chopper is in onto Silver Jackal. There's another dash from Dagny. And the Final Strike will finish off the Anubarak. Aurum has joined the fun. It's a full 5-hero commitment to the top lane, and Shakuras will take care of their second outer structure, while Cosmos kind of nurse their wounds a bit and wait for wait for Anubarak to respawn. I love this play from Shakuras, wasting no time to empty their pockets. Mosley's in a lot of trouble here. Aurum gets the stun, but there's no follow-up, CC. A great use of jet propulsion from Mosley to escape with 17 gems. They're not holding the most. That award, of course, goes to Odd Thought, who's going to get them turned in and secure the next objective phase. This is a challenging position for Cosmos to get their objective during. They're going to be down a talent tier here, about a half level away from level 16s of their own. Shakuras have picked up Glyph of Faith on the Anduin. Boomer now able to pull 2 targets. Dagny well far in ahead of the rest of Shakuras. They drew 1 of their charges of Leap of Faith. Second one coming back off cooldown just in time. The sleep lands onto Cliff. Man, Boomer working overtime to get these saves. Odd Thought and friends working on the mid fort. They're almost done. Dagny finishing out that level 1 quest. Here comes Chopper in from top lane. Dagny's going to eat the root here. There's the final strike, but Varian will fall. Aurum on the back, lurking around the bottom side turn-in. Thinking better of it. We'll see Cosmos rotate up and see if they can't secure a second structure with Protectors of Shakuras still without their main tank. The engagement onto Chopper this time. Boomer does not have any more Leap of Faith charges. But no one was minding the turn-ins, so Aurum able to get their gems in on time. They'll drop the Shockwave, an immediate follow-up with the Light Bomb and Final Strike. Really tight timing there. Shakuras getting a takedown right as the objective spawns. It's going to assist them in getting the most out of their Web Weavers as possible. The lanes weren't really well prepped, so Cosmos do have some amount of passive HP loss in their favor. Of course, without Zagara on the battleground, it is a little bit harder for them to clear these objectives from a safe distance. Nay taunted under the fort. Silver Jackal the target for Chopper. Odd Thought back on the battleground here. Top Keep is taking damage. Oh, Odd Thought eating so much damage from Chopper there. Chef Naj unable to get the potion in time. And now Silver Jackal is way far ahead of the team. That's another takedown. Boomer falling low here. Nay gusted in. And that's another takedown. Boomer laughing their way all the way to the bank. It was calculated bait the whole time, I'm sure. Either way, no matter the intention behind it, it's a big team fight win for Shakuras. They're going to fall back and get the boss. I would love to see them continue the push in top lane while their offlaner gets the last few waves towards the Storm talent tier here. Speaking of experience, we can see the experience deficit is largely due to the outnumbered takedowns, 8-3 in favor of Protectors of Shakuras, which has them at 6.5k to Cosmos' 2.8. Dagny eating so much damage from the Cursed Bullet. The root lands. Chopper out of the cocoon now. Boss still above half HP. Shakuras round the corner on their 20s. We've got Censure for Anduin. Wind Tunnel. Dagny very low here. Immediate blow up onto the Nubarak. 2 caught in the maw. Bunker drops. Chopper looking for the grappling hook onto Odd Thought. Does not connect. Final Strike goes wide. Glory to the Alliance picked up for Dagny. Light Bomb not connecting onto anyone but Deckard. They get the taunt. There's the Wind Tunnel. That's going to be enough for the takedown onto Deckard Cain. Chopper falling very low here. It's Dagny who's first to fall, in fact. Aurum getting another set of stuns. Doing a fair bit of damage with Headbanger at level 16. So Cosmos defend their core. They only took about 3% there. A couple of Shakuras having not selected their level 20s while they were looking for that push. It begs the question if it wouldn't have made the difference there. Cosmos definitely still on the back foot. They're down 2 whole keeps, but they've got enough gems in their pockets for the next turn-in. And they are just about at the Storm Talent tier themselves. So once that comes round, that could be a difference maker. Odd Thought, of course, has lots of damage at their back now with the level 16 Corrosive Saliva, % damage on Zagara's summons. And there's level 20. We've got Hunter's Blunderbuss, Pack Instincts for Zagara, Rewind for Silver Jackal, Fortified Bunker for Mosley, and Respect the Elderly for Chef Nash. It's a big, big power spike. There's the engagement onto 2. We pop the Rewind. Heroics flying left and right. Aurum hits the stun onto... Wait, but the sleep, it lands onto 3. They're silenced as well. The stuns onto the Hogger. They are silenced out of this Aurum, able to escape thanks to the gust from Cliff. And Mosley is the one who will fall first. Silver Jackal looks like they're in trouble next. They will fall. Dagny continues the chase onto Nay. We've got no control happening. Nay falling low here. Looks like they're not going to be able to make it out alive. 2 more takedowns for Protectors of Shakuras. Odd Thought still has a fair bit of damage, but with a relatively healthy Protectors of Shakuras and Boomer actually low mana, it's not going to matter. Look at all this auto attack damage. 19 minutes into the game, and hitting core matters a lot. 3 catapults added to that, and it's quick work for Protectors of Shakuras. GG and well played to the home team. A hot start for Game 1 of the series. It didn't look so cut and dry when we first started out, but the kill pressure between the Kira and Varian engages seemed to be a little overwhelming for Cosmos to deal with. We can take a look at our post-game stats here. And we've got Falstad, top of their team with 43k, but Odd Thought on Zagara, top of the lobby with 71k. Greymane as well, really far ahead with the 65k. Unfortunately, though, that damage did not translate to takedowns. 13-4 in favor of Shakuras. We can take a look at our talents as our teams get settled and ready for the next battleground of the series. There were some really good-looking engagements from Silver Jackal and Mosley. It really came down to some clutch support plays from the Boomer on Anduin with both Desperate Prayer and Leap of Faith. And of course, just the general survivability from Hogger and Varian both. Kira also a bit more survivable thanks to their level 4 talent upstage, dodging those meaty auto attacks from Greymane, making a lot of difference for the bounty hunter there. And at 16 they opted for Booming Kick. Yeah, Booming Kick is a pretty good talent. Cosmos had a propensity for holding hands a bit. So that AoE stun is a big difference maker. Alrighty, let's head back over to our battleground selection. So Shakuras opted for battleground selection with their Game 1 advantage. I'm interested to see if Cosmos prefers Battleground or hero selection. And if we are going to a Battleground of Cosmos's choosing, I would love to see Towers of Doom. If only because I don't feel like I've gotten to broadcast that many Towers of Doom games thus far this season. But with their split push style, at least that's what the Medusa Blade Zagara says to me, perhaps a Battleground like Cursed Hollow or Volskaya Foundry would suit them a little bit better. And it looks like our teams are a little slow to pick the next Battleground. So I'm going to step away briefly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 2 shakes of Lamb's Tail with game number 2 of Protectors of Shakuras against Cosmos. Welcome back, everyone. We did have a Battleground selected while we were gone. We're going to be headed to Battlefield of Eternity for Game 2, as selected by Protectors of Shakuras. So Cosmos still comfortable with their hero pick, first pick selection. A very different Battleground for our second game here. Battlefield of Eternity, not as much about the lane rotations and wave clear as it is about vision control and objective HP immortal burn. The objective is very powerful on the Battleground, can't really be ignored. So we see lots of teams draft for high-octane racing compositions, just trying to burn down the objective HP as quickly as possible to secure their own. Heroes like Greymane, Vala, and Zul'jin come to mind in that capacity. But we also can see teams opt for a more defensive playstyle, opting for heroes that emphasize displacement, putting their opponents in threat range of their immortal stuns. Heroes like Garrosh, Yrel, even ETC come to mind. Anyone with a boop that can knock someone into an immortal stun. Even Alarak. I don't know that we'll see Alarak. I believe Shakuras have shown one game of Alarak thus far this season, so it very well could come up here in this game. But based on my scouting, yeah, their Alarak player does not seem to be in the lobby. So, no concerns there. Or I should say limited concerns there. I can't speak to most of the team's hero pools. The Zagara pick from Odd Thought could still be pretty high value here. The creep vision that Zagara brings makes it a lot easier for her team to position around the objective, given how much terrain there is that cuts off sight lines. Having that additional vision control can make a big difference. Anubarak, also another solid pick with his ability to cross terrain. So we could see a lot of similar heroes for this draft. I don't think Protectors of Shakuras are likely to keep their same damage profile. But I've been wrong before. I'm ready to be wrong again. Last game we saw the Volibear. I would be shocked if we didn't see it again here. This is one of her better battlegrounds with the Hungering Arrow build, augmenting Puncturing Arrow at level 1 and 4 and 7 and etc. One of the best Immortal Burn heroes. Last game Shakuras banned out Johanna in this first slot. Not her best battleground, since her wave clear doesn't get as much value on the 2-lane map. So instead they'll stick with their Chromie ban. Another hero that has lots of vision tools through both her low cooldown spells and her time traps. I'd imagine we see another Stukov ban, but yeah. Teams that don't like playing against Stukov really don't like playing against Stukov. And with Shakuras' heavy favoritism towards Varian, I think that's a really smart ban. The synergy between those two heroes can be very devastating. And there's the Greymane ban. Not wanting to see the Gilnean for Cosmos. It was a Blaze first pick for game 1. We'll see if Cosmos stick with that game plan here for game number 2. Gonna be Anduin instead. Fair enough. As mentioned earlier, Shakuras have played 8 of the, I'm gonna say 12. I have no idea how many healers there are in the game, but 8 is a fair number of healers to play in one season. So even though it was picked away, the Anduin is by no means a crutch, as we see the Blaze and Li Ming picked up. So Blaze continues to factor heavily in the early half of the draft here. Chopper on Li Ming, an excellent hero for poking the Immortal. And they'll pick away the Varian and pair that with Raynor. Fair enough. Raynor, definitely one of the better Immortal Burn HP heroes. I expect to see an offlane ban here for Shakuras. Hello, game? Oh no. That was odd. I hope I don't crash out here. Sylvanas, sure. A solid hero to get rid of, given how she can augment those pushes. Cosmos probably banning out a tank here. And there is definitely something going on with my game client. There's the Diablo ban. Nice. A great battleground for Diablo, given how much terrain there is to crash folks into. We'll see how Shakuras want to round out their draft. Last two picks here for Cosmos. They need an offlaner and one more damage dealer in that flex slot. Perhaps something with a little bit more poke damage than Raynor. I don't think Junkrat is the best option here, but it's an option. Brawl. Okay, and Gul'dan. Alright. Gul'dan definitely fills the role of poke damage. We'll see what the last pick is for Protectors of Shakuras. I'm predicting a Hanzo based on the Li Ming that they've already grabbed and knowing a little bit about their hero pools. And there it is.
With honor, redemption.
Alright, so we'll head over to our hero list here while our teams get ready. Oh, that shouldn't be game 1. We're on game 2. Silly game. Alright, so Gul'dan, Raynor have a fair bit of damage to put onto an Immortal. They are a little sluggish as far as mobility is concerned. They do have a safe Mosh interrupt in the form of Raynor. But outside of that, what else do they have? They've got Horrify potentially. They've got Sundering potentially. This could be a big Mosh Pit game for Protectors of Shakuras. Anyone's guess. We'll see if Cosmos can take us to a game 3 here and keep the series alive. Protectors of Shakuras would rather get it done in 2, I'm sure. We can introduce them once again here on the left. We've got the Boomer on White Mane, Chopper on Li Ming, Aurum on Blaze, Dagny playing ETC, and Cliff Sandwich on Hanzo. To the right in red, Cosmos. We've got Nay on Raynor, Silver Jackal playing Varian, Odd Thought on Gul'dan, Mosley on Thrall, and Chef Naj on Anduin. The family Rin together again. A little nice to see a spray in the Sonic Arrow. A Fell Flame build for Odd Thought at level 1. Looking for those Q build connections. Pursuit of Flame. Silver Jackal gets the slow onto Cliff. Whew. That's a lot of damage onto Hanzo. Of course, White Mane, definitely a healer known for burst output. Cosmos trading up favorably here on the bot side. Not what I would have expected, but definitely helps them out, especially with the pre-4 Varian. Ooh, has to wear the Sonic Arrow for a while. Level 1, we've also got Exterminator for Nay. Kind of the only talent for Raynor on this battleground at level 1. Chopper found by Silver Jackal. Oh, but Gul'dan very low here. Odd Thought drains life, and that might be enough to make it out. Nay steps in between Cliff Sandwich and Odd Thought to protect their Gul'dan and make it out alive. Of course, with them hearthing, Shakuras are going to get busy here on this neutral siege camp here in bot lane. Cliff Sandwich already up to 10 stacks on Simple Geometry, so a pretty fast start for the Scatter Arrow talent. Dagny finds Silver Jackal with a little bit of damage from the Boomer, but once again, Cosmos are able to escape with their lives. Cosmos already getting through their Bruiser camp. Protectors of Shakuras will get started on it as well. Cliff Sandwich can deal a lot of damage to these mercenaries now that they've got serrated arrowheads or serrated arrows, I should say, at level 4, doing bonus damage to monsters and mercenaries, and minions, I believe. Aurum on the Blaze opting for a little less commonly seen build in this day and age. Opting for Neural Stimpak at level 1 and Oil Dispersal at level 4. A very powerful build in spite of its loss of popularity. And Shakuras have already taken care of the Bruiser camp in top lane. Oh my god, so much damage onto the Boomer! Boomer's going to fall. Checking in on the bot side, Mosley gets the rotation to deal with this camp. Nay and Oddthought dealing with the ETC, but ETC by themselves could get right-clicked to death. Playing it very safely. How many stacks are we at for Pursuit of Flame? 18 stacks for Oddthought. And Protectors of Shakuras continue to get this poke damage. That's the benefit of having the Li Ming and Hanzo both. So they're able to secure most of the HP on that Immortal. Cliff Sandwich falling low there, thanks to the rotation in from Mosley. I believe Dagny is completely hidden in the bush. I don't think anyone got the scout on that. But goodness gracious. Oh, that stun is going to cost Nay their life. Oddthought probably going to be able to finish this out, but unfortunately, Cosmos in full retreat. A little bit of a mixed signal, it seems, with some committing their life all the way, with the rest of the team trying to retreat. Looks like they will secure the Immortal, but it's only got, I would say, a fifth of its HP in shielding. So Shakuras definitely happy with their defense. They were able to mount. They've also got about a half-level lead with their level 7s online already. Silver Jackal finds Boomer, but now Dagny out on an island here. Are we intercession at 7? Yes. So we do have cleanse. We've got the rotation from Aurum coming down on the Blaze. I'd expect to see Shakuras try and fight past once this Immortal comes down. Blaze has been scouted. And that's enough to keep Cosmos honest. So a little bit of damage here on the bot fort, but nothing too severe. Silver Jackal gets the taunt onto Dagny. So much damage onto the ECC. One more Fell Flame. And the cow is in full retreat. Nay continuing to get these clicks. They're a little bit isolated, however. Chopper trying to get that illusionist, not illusionist, what is it, Calamity damage. I almost never see anyone pick Calamity anymore, which is crazy for how good that talent is. Mosley has made the rotation down. Dagny probably not going to make it out. One more auto attack. Oh, they just can't get it. Nay falling low here. Man, that white mana healing is something else. And I like Dagny's choice at level 4, opting for power Crowd Surfer. Being able to cross terrain is such a big benefit on this battleground. What else do we have? Curse of Exhaustion at level 7 for Oddthought. So bringing wave, or I'm sorry, not wave clear, but CC of their own. Massive slow to anyone that they drain life on. Mosley opting for follow through at level 7. So additional Immortal burn as well as hero damage. Silver Jackal and Dagny just trading it out here in bot lane, doing the good old tank pillow fight. Of course, Cosmos is rotating in here. Dagny does still have their power slide, so they could go over the wall if they need to. Looks like they'll be fine, just fine. Cliff and Chopper immediately on the race. Cosmos making that rotation to bot lane, looking for the gank, means that they're a little bit late to the objective. And they're going to give the full halftime opting instead to clear through that mercenary camp and get the juiced up minions. There's the taunt, this time onto Cliff. A great intercession from Boomer. Aurum jet propulsion's in, but does not get any connection. Aurum hunting around for another jet propulsion opportunity. Dagny found in the bush once again. So much damage on to them from Odd Thought. Whew. Alright, we see the white main heroic. There goes the Dragon's Arrow, does not connect. At some point, Horrify happened, as did Sundering. I missed them, but they happened. ETC does struggle to stand and deliver on the front line a bit. We see the Hyperion committed just to try and zone Shakuras off and get more opportunities for their damage onto the Immortal. Oh my god, so much damage onto Dagny. They're going to slide and get the Mosh Pit onto 3. Odd Thought gets the Horrify to interrupt. They'll trade Mosley for... Oh, Blaze so low, but Chopper on the backside gets the reset. There's another one in their favor. Aurum getting a lot of damage onto Ney here. The Boomer very low. They'll get the takedown. Chopper is Aurum is basically dead. Yeah, one more blink from Chopper will do it. And with their level 4, they don't need a healer. As long as they've got takedowns, they've got healing, thanks to dominance. So 7 takedowns to 4 in favor of Shakuras. Dagny, once again, really far ahead of the team. They're going to take about 50% of their HP just for that attempt at an auto attack. Heroics coming back off cooldown here shortly for Cosmos. There's the taunt, this time onto Aurum. They're falling very low. Chef Naj takes the stun from the Immortal. Mosley in very deep. They're going to fall. The Sundering and Horrify overlapped there. Another Immortal stun onto Anduin, but they're able to dodge the Arcane Orb. Dagny falling low here on the backside. Hyperion continues to pepper the damage onto Shakuras. And a very patient objective period for both of our teams. Of course, Shakuras are very close to their level 7 or level 13 talents. Oh my god, Chopper's still completely They get the escape, but they're not going to be of much use while they still are missing. Oh my god, on the top side, Aurum gets the kill onto Ney. There's the Mosh Pit catching Mosley. A huge jet propulsion lands onto 2, and the resets just keep coming in. The Li Ming play from Chopper. Excellent precision. Cosmos do win the Immortal, but it comes at the cost of a full 5-hero wipe. Yeah, Protectors of Shakuras are going to be able to deal with this with great ease now that Cosmos aren't going to be able to support this push. Still about a half level away from their level 13 talents as well. Shakuras in the lead thanks primarily to all of these takedowns, but they've also got a lot more minion experience on their side to boot. Finding opportunities to get down to those side lanes while posturing around the objectives. A trade of the neutral siege camps in top and bot lane. I like this call from Cosmos. With Naj, there's the Horrify committed onto Aurum. They'll pop the Pyromania and save the bunker. I like that call. Yeah, with Exterminator from Naj, the ability to soup up the mercenaries permanently is helpful. Of course, Mosley on Okay, we sundered those. I was saying mostly on the Thrall, not really any wave clear to dissuade Shakuras from getting a push, so it's just a fort trade. Shakuras just around the corner from the next talent tier at 16 as the Immortal spawns as well, so Cosmo's going to have a tough time defending down a talent tier, trailing about 2 full levels. At 16, what do we have? Harsh Discipline. So the root at 16. Potential for lots of roots. With the level 13. There's the engagement onto Dagny. Cliff uses the Dragon's Arrow, but it's not enough. They pulled the trigger immediately and got an outnumbered engagement. Cosmos taking the fight to Shakuras down a talent tier. This is the sort of engagement that they really needed. Silver Jackal scattered in the bush there. And they've gotten Nay onto the Heaven's Immortal. We can see that HP burning down quite rapidly, thanks to Exterminator at level 1. Aurum gets the connection on the Jet Propulsion. Odd Thought tries to peel with the... There's the root. Tries to peel with the Horrify. Odd Thought escapes the root. And we're almost at halftime. Nay abandons the race, opting instead to join the team for the fight. Boomer's the target here. They're unable to get into the bunker. There's still plenty of mana left on the white main. Mosley finishes off the race. Odd Thought about to go down. That's the first reset. Make it 2. Chopper gets another 3 takedowns, and the Li Ming resets are making all the difference in these team fights. Cosmos unable to find those crucial picks. Boomer escaping with very little HP on countless occasions and turning those engagements on their head. Very well played. Shakuras in a commanding lead here as their Immortal spawns in the bottom lane. Level 16's now online for Cosmos. They'll be able to defend their bottom keep on an even talent tier. Percent damage now online for, I should say additional percent damage, online for Thrall at level 16 with Alpha Wolf. We've also got Glyph of Faith for Chef Naj, so an additional charge of Leap of Faith. This is also a big power spike for Odd Thought now that Rampant Hellfire is online. Dagny power slides over the wall. There's the Unstoppable, but unfortunately the Keep has other plans. Boomer, the target of the taunt, but they get a little bit of time just to pop their heroic and get out. The armor from Scarlet Aegis making a huge difference there. So Protectors of Shakuras escape with only 1 casualty. Cosmos defend the bot keep with aplomb. Very little damage suffered there. And rather than worry about any camp taking, they're going to immediately run right to the building, get the Hyperion rolling. Nash taking a fair bit of damage here. They're through 1 tower. Looks like they're going to get the second one as well. I like this call from Cosmos. Rather than stopping and taking the bottom siege camp, Nay trying to bait an engagement here. Silver Jackal still mounted up on the side. There's the intercession onto Aurum. They still have... No, Bunker is still off cooldown. Whoa, the Dragon's Arrow catches Mosley. Silver Jackal's next to fall, and Chopper once again gets those resets. There's the Force of Will. Oh no, Chef Naj rooted. Odd Thought on the top side goes down. Chef Naj chased down by the front line here. 1 more jet propulsion from Aurum could take it out. Will Nay get the Hearth? It's so close. Dagny gets the interrupt! What a madman on the cow. I don't know who wins this 1v1. It looks like it's ETC. Didn't need to mosh that. But, you know, you gotta send a message every now and then. I think that takedown could be achieved without the commitment of the heroic. 2 catapults and a siege camp. Well, kind of just the one. Wait, did Aurum budge that? I'm going to have to ask them about that a little bit later. Because that catapult was stuck behind the siege camp, which is my least favorite thing that happens a lot on Battlefield turn-based. Shakuras secure their first keep. Top keep down, perhaps, yeah, almost 50% HP there. And Shakuras are going to take down Mosley. Oh my goodness! Look at all that damage at level 16. Blaze and Hanzo, nothing to joke with. They'll commit the Hyperion, but Shakuras are still plenty healthy. They got their keep. It's all they wanted. They'll peel back and work on the objective next, while Mosley waits for their respawn in the next 20 seconds. Cosmos keep the fight. Whoa! The Dragon's Arrow lands onto 2 with play of the game damage. Odd Thought falling very low. Chef Naj pops the light bomb, but it's not in time. Another takedown for Chopper. They've opted for repulsion at level 20. Oh my goodness. Another 3 takedowns. And Chopper's completely Oh, Silver Jackal! Oh, that was so close. Aurum gets the jet propulsion. Follow up with the root. Oh, Dagny over the wall. Does Mosley have the damage? They've already used the wolf. It's going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. I don't know if Dagny's blinked yet. That could happen. Respawns here in the next 10 seconds. Dagny will fall. Boomer falling low, as is Aurum. Chopper still really low on mana. I don't know if Shakuras have this. Yeah, Odd Thoughts respawned. Looking a little hungry for the Horrify. Tried to catch Chopper with it. It would have been a huge pickup, no doubt. Intercession already back up off cooldown. Nay finds Chopper there with a big flank. Mosley looking for Boomer on the bot side of the engagement. So a little bit of a split engagement for Cosmos. It's going to buy enough room for them to start burning down this High Heavens Immortal, which should also buy them an opportunity to clean up their lanes a little bit. They're in a dire state. Catapults are mounting both top and bot. 2 in each lane with a 3rd on the way. An excellent spawn for these Immortals, however. And I think the Immortal burn for Shakuras is just a little bit faster. Or, I'm sorry, a little bit slower. So Cosmos able to get... Oh no, Jackal. There's the jet propulsion. Chef Nash still has 1 charge, a leap of faith. Make that 2, in fact. So they commit 1, still have another. Mosley's been dealing with these catapults. Does the fort go down? I kind of doubt it. Chopper did have to hearth, so it's not a full DPS burn. So I think top fort, yeah, top fort definitely goes down. That's excellent for Cosmos. And doing a little bit of split pressure. They've got Storm Talents of their own. Nay opting for Raider's roll, so they can go unstoppable now. Interesting. I almost never see it. Vigilance at level 20 for Silver Jackal. Cooldown reduction on taunt whenever you're hit with an auto attack, I believe. I so rarely see this talent. Yeah, every time you get auto-attacked, it's cooldown reduction. Haunt for Odd Thought. Windrush for Thrall. Windrush? Yeah, Windrush. Blink, which grants Wind Fury. And Inner Fire, the Light Bomb upgrade for Naj. So now we're in a late game kind of hunting and being hunted position. Protectors of Shakuras would love to catch Cosmos in a sloppy rotation if they're able, but Cosmos can play it very safely if they choose. I don't know. Yeah, Odd Thought making the heads-up play to not show on that top minion wave. Really diligent vision play from the Gul'dan player. You'll love to see that sort of consideration. Left side Bruiser Camp not up for another minute and 15 seconds or so. Would have loved Cosmos to try and save at least one of these mercenary camps, but I can understand feeling a little sketchy about it. Dagny is still hidden in his bush. No one has gotten the scout on the ETC. Oh, Mosley rips the Sundering, but it doesn't connect. They'll drop the bunker immediately. There's the repulsion. So Heroics flying on all sides. Hyperion committed. They've still got Horrify. Mosley starting to get a little bit of damage on the Immortal. And Cosmos really need to force the issue here. The Patient game helps Shakuras immensely. A taunt. There's the Fear follow-up. Immediate takedown onto the ETC. Varian's in a lot of trouble, though. Aurum has found Nay. They're going to dodge out. Silver Jackal still needs a fair bit of HP restored. Chef Nash commits the Desperate Prayer. Cosmos still need to get a little bit more done. They've got catapults mounting on their core. Nay's going to start working on the Immortal HP. They're burning through it. Mosley gets rooted, but there's no CC follow-up or damage for that matter. There's the taunt onto Aurum. They pop the Juggernaut plating and survive most of that spell damage. The core is now under fire as halftime triggers. We've got Mosley hearthing back to deal with those catapults. And once again, a very favorable Immortal spawn for Cosmos. RNGesus definitely on their side. Aurum trying to slow down that auto attack. Silver Jackal way out ahead of the team. Chef Naj unable to save them. Wait, does he? No, there's the reset. Oh, Naj is in the back. Oh no! Chopper gets the resets. Once again, Horrify doesn't catch any. Jet Propulsion lands onto 2, however. Dagny catching Chef Naj there. Mosley onto Chopper. They use the Windrush. There's the Blink Mosh over the wall. Oh no! Cosmos looked like they had made such a comeback, but Shakuras able to turn it on their head with Silver Jackal just a little too far out from their support. Cliff Sandwich going to make the long walk from spawn to join the rest of Protectors of Shakuras for the family photo here, and they're able to close it out in a 2-0 fashion. Domination once again for Protectors of Shakuras. GG and well played to our home team. That game, very back and forth. A razor's edge on a number of different moments. Cosmos had some excellent off-kilter rotations to take advantage of where they found Protectors of Shakuras on the map. Taking care of bot lane while Cosmos was in top and vice versa. But in the end, the team fight wins were all in favor of Shakuras. We can see that on the takedown count, 31-8 in their favor. And that's thanks to all of those resets. Chopper on the Li Ming really shining on that teleport based build with Calamity at 7. So that's it for the series. We can pop over here and I'll see if I can't find one of our fine friends from Protectors of Shakuras for an interview. Looks like I should be getting one here shortly. So let me hop over there so everyone can hear. GG, well played. How are you feeling after your domination victory?
I feel happy that we won it.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes.
This is your second meeting with Cosmos this season, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, we're in a double round robin, so it's going to be 2 against everybody this year.
Awesome. And it was a domination last time around. If you had to compare the two series, do you feel like both series were close? Was this one, did you see any sort of adaptations from your opponents? What's it like in the double round robin divisions?
It's like us getting Braxis in the first 2 weeks and then never getting it again. So yeah, the first adaptation would be that they banned Braxis. The second adaptation being that we have Chopper now instead of playing Lampico.
Mm-hmm.
He played a great game. Lampico had played a great game in the first series, and now having Chopper, who also played a great series. That would be our adaptation, is to just bring in a new player and hope they don't ban Genji, which I think was the third ban in map 2. But yeah, the double round robin is nice because we get to have more of a rapport with people. Right now, as the team is changing, we haven't really been consistent in our divisions. We've been up and down and up and down. But now, we get to at least play the same people again, more than once, which is nice.
Definitely. I have always enjoyed the multiple meetings in the regular season as well, so it's nice because you get those opportunities to suss out the teams, build a rapport. It furthers the metagame. It's lots of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about this series, Game 1 on Tomb. I, at the end of the draft, was favoring Cosmos a bit more just from a wave clear perspective. Talk to me a little bit about the Kira pick. That is not a hero that we see very frequently. Was wave clear a concern for y'all at any point during the draft, or were you confident that you'd be able to manufacture the hero takedowns that you'd need to get ahead on rotations?
I think we were able to manufacture it. In draft, I didn't once go, oh yeah, wave clear. We had Falstead. We had a Q build. Well, I guess he went auto attacks. I thought he was going to go Qs. We had Falstead, and I'm like, okay, that's going to be good enough. Between Varian, Anduin, and Falstead, I'm sure that we could have handled whatever fourth option in the 4-man that we could have picked. Kira was a nice little pocket. It's nice to bust it out in the regular season and go, hey, this didn't work, or hey, this did work, instead of going for broke in playoffs. Mm-hmm. So picking Kira, I think we were able to go into the mindset of we can clear Zag creep, we can clear any hero that crosses our path. We just have to make sure that we get to 4 first. And I'm not too worried about our 1 to 4 clear, because they can't step up to us from 4 to 10. And if you're able to kind of snowball that a little bit, and once they hit 10, they did in fact run at us and get, I think that was 2 kills for them. maybe 3. But it was a good. They played it correctly at 10, but we ended up taking it back and walking with it forward more. So no, wave clear wasn't a super big concern having the Falstead, and we were able to. I was confident in our Varian and Anduin and Kira to get us through all of the hero takedowns that we need to at least get gems in, and then, do the wave clear with gems and knights and whatever spider nonsense we're dealing with at the moment.
And it was very effective. You guys were able to get the mid fort off your first objective push, and that alone really just frees up the battleground for it. It creates the environment for Varian to thrive because of that vision advantage you now have in the mid lane. You can control those turn-ins. So I really liked that call to push mid with the bruisers on the first objective and secure that fort. I thought that was a really heads-up strategy. And then for game 2, your battleground selection once again, Battlefield of Eternity. Cliff and Chopper looked really comfortable on their assassins. Is this a pairing that you guys like particularly for the battleground, or are Li Ming and Hanzo just 2 comfort picks that can go anywhere in any draft in your mind?
I wouldn't quite say anywhere, any draft. This would be one where I'm concerned about wave clear. I understand that we have Hanzo, but maybe on certain maps, maybe the lane is a little too big to get consistent wave clear. There aren't enough walls to get the wave clear with Hanzo. But it's more for this battleground. Having the race to match Raynor at the very least. I'm like, okay, they have Jimmy. We can, go Li Ming. We went Li Ming Blaze, I think was our 1-2. And then, I think we had a Hanzo counter pick. So, really, I didn't know what we were going to change for Cliff as far as draft goes. Hanzo was good. We could have swapped and put a Genji in there. But I'm glad we went with what we went with, because they are very comfortable on both of these picks, and I would agree they played them quite well. Dagny got a little antsy more than once, but other than that, we played a very, very solid game.
And there were a couple. There was one moment in particular that I'm thinking of for Dagny when he got the Blink Mosh over the Bruiser Wall right before you guys ended the game. Where I was just like, see, this is why you pick Blink. What a great ETC play. I love this. So, everyone had their moment to shine as well. Aurum, of course, always a sturdy presence in the off lane. Yeah. Looked great on Blaze, looked great on the Hogger in game 1 as well. So that's all the questions I've got for the series. Before I let you head back and celebrate with your team, are there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yep, obviously, to you for casting, and I would like to shout out Cosmos for playing. We can't play if the other team doesn't show up, and I'd always rather play than not play, so always happy to have everyone be here, and always happy to get a cast. Any of the viewers watching, thank you very much. I do it for you. The other 4, they do it for playing Heroes of the Storm, but the showmanship in me, I do it for the audience.
Gotta do it for the fans. You gotta do it for the fans.
You gotta do it for the fans. We have at least 2. I know for a fact we have 2 fans. So I've got to do it for at least those 2 people. Yes, always, thank you so much for casting. Thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for playing.
Awesome. Well, have a great evening, Boomer. Catch you on the next one.
You too, Sound. Thank you.
So there you have it. A strong showing from our second place team. They are still in second after that win. Let me double check here. Because they currently have 24 points, plus 4, 28 points. All right, so they're still in second place, trailing behind FC Hong Kong, but they're gaining nonetheless. And if tonight's match is any indication of how they'll perform for the rest of the season, they are well on their way to a strong postseason as well. That'll do it for me. Before I sign off, I'll give some shout-outs of my own. First, to all you for tuning in, thank you for joining us. It's always great to have the community come out and support our teams, cheer them on. If you are not yet part of the NGS community, you can come learn more about us on the website. That's been posted in chat a few different times. You can also use !NGS for that information. It is the largest North American amateur Heroes of the Storm league. It's completely volunteer run. There's no fee to enter. There's no minimum or maximum rank threshold. It's great. Come join us if you have any interest in playing Heroes of the Storm in a organized fashion, the way that it's truly designed to be played. And last but not least, a shout out to all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature here on my stream. It wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without their contributions. I've got links to all of their work below the video, as well as coming up here in a credit roll. So please do go check them out. It's all open source or Creative Commons licensed material, so if you've heard or seen anything that you like, it could be in your next project as well. Until next time, friends, good luck and have fun out there. Peace and love.